Hello and welcome back to Constellation Station. I'm Nicole from the Cincinnati Observatory, and here at Constellation Station it's our 21st episode. So 20 was last week, and I'm going to continue the party this week by using balloons to connect our constellation today. At Constellation Station we like to learn a little bit about constellations, figure out where we can find them in the night sky, and then use fun ways to make constellations in our own home. So our constellation today, I really like it because its shape is really interesting, but it looks nothing like what I think it's supposed to look like according to Greek mythology. Our constellation today is Cepheus. He was once the king of Ethiopia, and our constellation, once we connect the dots, I'll let you decide whether you think it really looks like a king. So we'll start today by checking out our stars of our constellation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars that we need to connect today. And hopefully we'll be able to recognize the shape that it makes, even though it may or may not look like an actual king. So we'll go ahead and start by connecting our first 2 dots here. We'll tape our balloon to our constellation station here. Our first 2 stars. Just like that. We'll have a new color. Let's do a yellow one next to connect our next 2 stars. So this constellation it's kind of big up in the night sky, but it's not the biggest constellation ever. But to use my balloons today, I needed to make the stars really far apart. So know that it's not necessarily bigger than some of the other constellations that we've done that I would have made maybe a little bit smaller on my constellation station. We'll go ahead and do a blue balloon next. So far we have a little bit of a shape coming together. We'll use an orange one, maybe we'll use this one for our last bit over here. So far we've made, hopefully you recognize this shape as a square with our constellation, but we have one more star down here that we need to use as well, and that's going to connect to 2 of our stars that we've already used. So we'll start by using the pink one here to connect these stars. And then we'll use one more, maybe this red one, to connect our last 2 stars. All right, there we go. So we have here, I think, what looks like a nice upside down house. So Cepheus is kind of like an upside down house here, but really what I want you to picture is a king on his throne. Is that what you guys see here as a part of our constellation? The answer is no, it's okay. I think that this one is really hard to use our imagination to see, but the nice thing that we always talk about with constellations is as long as you can recognize shapes of the constellations, we can still find them up in the night sky, and that really is what is most important. And then if you want to come up with a different shape or a different story about the shape that you see in the sky, you can totally do that. So maybe this is an upside down house, or maybe it's a castle instead of a king. You can make up your own constellation and own stories based around this shape in the night sky. Now, maybe it makes sense that Cepheus wouldn't really look like a king up in the night sky because he ended up in the night sky as a punishment. We know some constellations in Greek mythology, they're put up in the stars because they're great heroes. But Cepheus was actually put up in the night sky as a punishment with his wife, the Queen Cassiopeia. And we'll learn more about Cassiopeia next week. But Cassiopeia bragged to everyone that she was more beautiful than the sea nymphs, which made King Poseidon, a god of the ocean, really, really angry. And so that's how Cepheus ended up in the night sky. So where do we find Cepheus up in the night sky? I want you guys to picture our northern sky as it looks as we described it in the summertime. We have our summer triangle partially in the north. We have those two different constellations that like to stay in the north all year round, the Big and Little Dipper. And the very important star on the tip of the Little Dipper's or the baby bear's tail. So if we picture the Little Dipper as a bear, there's a star on the tip of baby bear's tail. And I think you guys probably remember what that important star is called. It's Polaris, or the North Star. I know you guys knew that. And if we picture this constellation up in the night sky, I want you to picture our North Star being just to the left of this constellation. So if you're looking up in the night sky, if you can find Polaris, look to the right of Polaris, and you will see the tip of our house, our upside down house down here. And then you can maybe fill in the blanks of our other stars to make this upside down house shape. Now remember, sometimes you won't be able to find all of the stars of a constellation, so you may have to go into a darker sky to see the whole thing, but maybe you can at least pick out a few of these stars. So if you go outside around 9 o'clock on a clear night, sometime soon, you'll be able to see this in the northern sky and a little bit into the northeastern sky. So we'll be talking about other constellations that go along with Cepheus, like Cassiopeia, Andromeda, Cetus, as we move into the fall and winter seasons. So this is our first week of our fall constellations that we're starting to get into, fall and winter. So I hope to see you guys back next time to learn a little bit more about what constellations we'll be able to see this fall into the winter. I'll see you guys next Thursday.